3.
We watched it! So we just got done watching Ennu Ninte Moideen, which also stands for Always Yours Moideen. Beautiful love
such a
story.
poetic, beautiful movie.
Love story.
Beautiful love story.
Beautiful, beautiful. So the story was about two lovers, a girl by the name of Kanchana, and then obviously Moideen, in which the story revolves majority around. It was set in the 1960s. It was a love story, a difficult love story, I would say.
Well, they couldn't be together, well, obviously because
Exactly.
she was Hindu and he was Muslim.
Yes.
And also the fact that back in 1960s, like falling in love wasn't like accepted. Like you have to arrange marriages was the thing back in the day, you know?
Or you would have to be with someone of the same caste. That was something that was said around then. Moideen's father was very communist-like, and his mentality was very like within the community also that they lived in. And Moideen, on the other sense, was completely opposite from his dad. He believed in, socialism. He believed in like a proper democracy and like getting all the community together and whatnot. So that was another thing that was very like prompt in the story, other than just the love story itself.
That made it interesting too.
Exactly.
That made it interesting too.
But
we have to remember this is based on a true story.
Yes.
So this is actually happened back in 1960. So I'm sure they added more stuff to like dramatize it, but I'm sure like a lot of percent of this movie actually did happen.
Right, and watching the film though, it was very realistic. Like a lot of the events were realistic. Like a lot of the scenes, like the play scene, like back then, that was the only form of entertainment.
Yeah.
The plays, and just the fighting. Like you could actually, I felt like could actually hear like the hitting and the beating
I
and
think
whatnot.
not even once they went like over the top, which made it more realistically, and they also made it more beautiful.
I know, and the love story was so unique. Like every time they went to meet each other or tried to take that next step into their lives, something dramatic happened or something crazy happened where they just could not be together. That was,
I think
my gosh, it was so beautiful.
the best part was the fact that, remember when Kanchana's mother was like, we can't let you be with them, think about all your sisters and everything. No one's gonna get married to them if you marry a Muslim guy. And she said, that I'll wait there, let them get married first, I'll wait. And she actually waited 10 years to be with this guy. And the fact that they still couldn't be together.
I know,
that was just like heartbreak. What about the scene with his father?
Wow, that was just so intense. I cannot believe it.
That just came out of like nowhere.
I cannot believe like his own dad like stabbed him like that because he was so frustrated with him, with like their, so to say, zid in a way,
yeah,
right?
Just because he didn't agree with his terms.
Exactly.
Just because he wanted something else from his life, and he felt ashamed. He felt like like intimidated.
Exactly, and like very controlling parents at that time would want the kids to follow their footsteps. Like you have to have our religious views. You have to have, especially since Moideen's dad was like a well-known kind of a preacher within the community. That I want you to be like him.
That's why he didn't want him to marry a Hindu girl.
Exactly.
And because of his stature and everything, So I think that's why. And that scene came a shock for us. And like they were just like talking to each other and stuff like that. And out of nowhere, he just stabs him. And that our face was like,
we were so shocked.
Like
and I know, and then the sweetest part is that like when he was in court and he didn't even blame his dad. He said that the dad, didn't do anything, didn't even stab him and
made
whatnot.
him change.
That made him change.
That made him change because before they went to the court, his lawyer was like, you have to tell them, you didn't do it.
Exactly.
And he was like, I'm not bowing my head in front of my son. I did it. I'm gonna tell him. And just the fact that how Moideen told everyone, it was an accident. My father didn't do it. And before he was walking out of the court, he goes like, "Don't worry about it, Dad. It's okay. It's okay."
As if it's so casually. So after the court scene, the father then passes away mysteriously over the night.
I think he has changed of the heart first.
Exactly.
Remember, like he goes to where the mother and the son was staying. He said, "Get your stuff, just come back home." And
because the mom prior to that was like, "Okay, I'm done with you. I'm just gonna leave."
She stood up for herself.
She stood up for herself. She's like, "I'm done with your like torture, what you've done to my son, what you're doing to me." So at this point, mom was frustrated and was like, "I'm out."
She took a big step.
She took a huge step. So Moideen was super excited because this was like a decade after that they were about to make that like final destination. He like got the passports made.
And he decides to move to New York, and he tells her, "I'll find a job and everything. I'll get a passport. I'll get your passport made too." and then he goes to get the passport made.
Exactly.
And that tragedy happened when he was coming back.
Oh my gosh, it was that part when they showed that whole part. Like, I just had a feeling something was just gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
The way it was raining, she was getting all ready, and Kanchana was getting ready, and like she was like waiting for Moideen to come for her, and then the tragedy.
They were finally getting back together after 10 years.
After 10
like,
years.
You know, that's
just
huge.
Imagine.
You know, like, you see this movie, like, you know, you see the movie like Veer Zara and stuff like that. Yeah, you feel for them, but you know it's not real.
Exactly.
But you watching this movie, you know this is actually happened.
It's a true story.
And you know you feel for these characters, like they could be together.
Just the whole scene when he gets into the raft, right? So he's going the ferry, and he's going to Kanchana. He's going to go get her, and then all of a sudden it starts storming really bad, and then the boat tips over because of the people panicking like crazy.
He was telling people like, you know, calm down, it's gonna be okay,
Yeah.
just like stay at one place. But people were like, they were in panic, so they kept like moving. So eventually that thing tripped.
So then when the boat did tip over, then here's Moideen saving all these people, like right when he had a chance to like make a life decision. He could have saved his own life, got onto that boat and bet like whatever, you know. He went back like underneath and got all the people out of the water, a majority of them.
Yeah, but that was a person he was, you know.
Exactly.
Even though like he loved Kanchana with all the passion he has and everything, but he was a good human being. But he decided to save all those people from the raft, which he did. He saved everyone.
I know.
And he couldn't save himself.
I know. That was just a sad scene. Like that was such a shocker. Like I remember I was just like, oh my god, what just happened? And then from that point, when Kanchana finds out that, you know, Moideen had passed away, she was trying to commit suicide. She like took all these pills and whatnot just to like kill herself. Like her life was over until Moideen's mom comes and gives Kanchana like a new life.
And the beautiful moment that was, like, at this point, she's obviously, she knows that Moideen is no more, but the fact that she's like happy, the fact that like I'm here going to Moideen's house. She
finally gets to be that daughter-in-law that she wanted to be. Like I felt like, and that was a way for her to be like, you know what? We actually did win. Look, I'm in your house now.
Exactly.
Like, look, I'm taking that step. But that shot, like I was so teary. That shot was just
you were teary. I just got goosebumps too thinking about that part.
That shot was so beautiful, how she just looks over into the sun, and then there he is just standing there like looking back at her, like going. He kind of went like that.
Nah, he was just
like,
because she looked back and hey, you see Moideen coming in, and he just smiles at her and she smiles, so they both have this like a last connection and whatnot, and he just tells her like, go ahead, go in. Like, you know, like he gave her that,
like he gave her that importance.
Dang, I just got a little teary, yo.
Aww.
Whoa, I just thought about this scene.
He just gave her that, like, you know, telling her that this is it, like, go ahead, gave her the importance that she deserved, like, for all these years. And the narrator's closing the story of the film. You know, he pretty much explains that Kanchana stayed as an unmarried widow with the mother-in-law throughout her whole life. Imagine. Very, like, commitment, very sacrifices that they gave for each other. Like, hats up to a love story like that. Like, seriously. You don't find love like that nowadays. Like, no one would go to that extreme for somebody like that. And this is not that even that old. It's 1960s. Like, we're not even talking like, you know, years and years and decades ago. We're like, you know, this is recent. Exactly. Something so beautiful, and it was just a touching love story. We really enjoyed it. The actors, what'd you think of the actors?
Prithviraj, like we saw him in Mumbai Police, and he was totally different in that movie. Like, you know, watching him in Ennu Ninte Moideen, like I was just thinking he was same guy in Mumbai Police, but like he didn't bring nothing from that movie. He was just like it was just like him being like, you know, that lover, like a whole different person, like the look and this stuff. In this one he looking a little bigger and a little buff, and like the hair's a little bit longer, but whatnot. But still, I would have to say, and this is, I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart, the Malayalam actors I feel like are the best actors within like any cinema that I've seen. What about Kanchana? Kanchana, beautifully. She reminded me of the movie, the girl from Rosa. What was her name? Madhu. Madhu. That's what she reminded me of too. But the simplicity, like of actual, like realistic characters, realistic story, like how better can you get? You know, like, And also the background music was really like soothing and peaceful too.
Yeah.
And as far as all the songs too, like we didn't understand, we were reading the subtitles too, but even the songs were like taking the story ahead, you know. There was just no song with like for the heck of it, they was taking the story ahead. And even like a mother acted really good, and
everybody did.
Like her brother Sethu, like
Sethu acted very good.
Really well.
And the lover too.
I think the best part was about the lover was how he, like, you know, he was in love with the Kanchana throughout his whole life, since his childhood. And like, you know, and here's like at this point he was gonna like marry her and everything. Then obviously she tells him the letter wasn't for you. Then how he helps them get together.
And it wasn't like a selfish love where he was like, you know what, I have this perfect chance to marry this girl, and I'm just gonna do it regardless of anything. And she pretty much told him, you know what, if you marry me, you're marrying a dead body.
Exactly, like you know, because I don't have any love for you. Like my life is dedicated to Moideen. I think that's what like crushes him. But then, you know, he has his closure.
Yeah.
Because before, I think the letter made him think, okay, I have a chance. But the letter wasn't meant for him.
Exactly.
I think so. At that time, like, you know, he acted really good too. He acted really good, and the father did. I think everyone acted their role very good.
Very good, and it was beautiful. We loved it. It was definitely like a double thumbs up for us. Like this was just an amazing love story. Like one of those like eternal love stories that you hear about, and like
you still think about it after watching the
like
movie.
You know, you think of like Hiranja and you think of all this stuff, and now it's like Moideen and Kanchana, you know, like it's completely.
But thanks to you guys for recommending this movie to us. So that was our movie review to the Ennu Ninte Moideen. Do let us know what was your favorite part from the movie.
Yeah,
we would love to know about you guys. Like, you know, if you have this person who you love like beyond, and you know, and if you're with that person now, or you're still in process of getting with this person now, so do tell us about your love story.
Yes, like ours.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And sorry about
there's one more. Keep sending your requests.
Yeah, do keep sending us requests. Thank you guys. Bye guys. And we're doing a little different today. We're out on our patio and doing this, and there's a lot of mosquitoes now.
It got dark while we were shooting.
Yeah, so we had to bring out the lights and everything. So I'm sorry if this is kind of like dark or whatnot. So we try something new. So